Good morning everyone. Good morning teachers, especially my grade 8 students. How are you po? And nice to meet you again. Alright, last time class we have already discussed about the use of farm tools and equipment, right? Very good. So, based on my background, our topic for today is all about the crops, productions, and management. So, ang pag-aaralan natin dito is all about kung paano natin alagaan at i-manage yung mga crops. Okay? Let's start. Okay, let's start class with food. So, what comes into your mind when you hear the word foods? Very good. Kasi pag sinabing food, it is one of the basic needs or requirement of life to survive. And then it is also made of various kind of energy. It is rich of substances like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals, which are known as nutrients. So, ano nga ba yung functions of food sa ating body? Okay, because food, it is provide energy for various metabolic activities, and of course, it also helps us of growth and development of our body. Okay, we can do anything class, example sa mga activities natin without eating foods kasi they are providing us energy. And then, what are those sources of foods? Let's start with the cereals. Meron tayo niyan. And pulses, oilseed crops, and fruits and vegetables. So, what are these? Let's start with the cereals. Okay, cereals, meron tayong wheat flour or wheat grasses or wheat plant and then the rice plant. Okay, anong pinagkaibahan ng dalawa? So, yung wheat flour seems thick than the rice plant. And then, meron din tayong maize or corn, kung tawagin. And then, meron din tayong bajra. Ano nga ba yung bajra? Ang bajra ay makikita natin yan sa Africa. Kasi doon, it has been grown in Africa sa kanila nagsimula. Hanggat na-spread na siya all over the world. It's called fountain grass. Or, the other words, pearl millet. Okay? Yung maize, kilala natin yan. Common na sa Pilipinas. And then, meron din tayong, kung tawagin ay jowar. Ano yung jowar? Yan lang naman ang alternative to the all-purpose flour. So, ginagawa siyang flour. Oh, this one is pigeon pea and urad, kung tawagin sa kanila ay pulses. Oh, yung urad, kilala na po natin sa Pilipinas. Ang tawag natin dyan ay munggo or black beans. Okay? Nandiyan ang pigeon pea or har, kahit saan po makikita natin yan sa Pilipinas. And then next, meron din tayong lentil and peas, green peas. Lentil, ano po yun? Legumes po, kung tawagin sa ibang words. So it is annual plant known for its lens-shaped seeds. And then the next one is black gram. Okay? Yung black gram, ito po yung urad, kung tawagin din sa iba, or high protein value than most of the legumes. So, mas ma-protein siya kaysa dun sa legumes. It is also an excellent source of dietary fiber, and then isoflavones, and the vitamin B complex, iron, copper, magnesium, zinc, potassium, phosphorus, with offer a myriad of healing health benefits. Kumbaga, halos nandyan na lahat sa black gram ang lahat ng mga vitamins na hinahanap ng ating katawan. Kaya kumain na tayo ng black gram. Okay, way back pala sa lentil or masor, ito po yung majority of world productions courses from Canada and India. Alright? Next, oilseed crops. Ano ba yung mga oilseed crops? So, nandiyan yung soya beans. So, kilala natin yan, di ba? Pag bumibili tayo ng taho, may nagbebenta doon ng soybeans. And then, meron din tayong groundnut. Ano ba yung groundnut? Yung katulad ng peanuts. Yan. And then, let's proceed to sunflower. Okay, yung mga boys dyan na mahilig ng flowers, binibigay sa girlfriend. Ang seeds niyan ay pwede mo rin siyang gawing crackers. Pwede mo rin yan ibigay sa girlfriend mo. Habang nagdi-date kayo, kinakain nyo yan. Next is the Niger flowers. Ano yung Niger flowers? So, ibig sabihin yan, it is also commonly called Christmas rose. So, yung seeds niyan, parang sunflower lang din, nagiging crackers din siya. Pwede natin siyang makain. Next, andyan yung sesame. Sesame seeds, nakain din yan. And then castor. Yung castor, di ko pa na-try kung nakakain yan. Pero sabi nila, masarap daw yan. Okay. Next, mustard. So, yung mustard, kilala natin yan. No need to discuss. Ginagamit yan sa mga pagluluto. And then, linseed. Ayan, linseed. Ano siya? Commonly called flax. Para siyang seed ng squash. And then, root crops. Nandiyan turnip, sweet potato or potato, and then the carrot. Kaya tinawag silang root crops kasi sa root sila tumutubo yung crops. And then, sugar cane. So, alam naman siguro natin, mga sugar crops na yan, ginagawang pampatamis or sugar. Ayan, kilala natin sa Pilipinas. And then, yung beet. Next, fiber crops. Nandiyan yung cotton, and then, andyan din yung jutes. Ano ba yung jutes? Jute is a long or soft, shiny bast fiber that can be spun into coarse or strong threads. It is also produced primarily from plants in the genus Corcorus, which was once classified with the family Thylaceae. The primary source of the fiber is Corcorus olitorius, but it is also considered inferior to Corcorus capsularis. Alright, andyan din yung plantation crops. So, kapag sinabing plantation crops, inaalagaan po natin yan kasi mahalaga yan sa ating katawan. So, yung tea, yan tea, very important to us, yung mga nagda-diet. And then, coconut, kung tawagin ay tree of life kasi mula roots hanggang dulo, hanggang bunga ay gamit na gamit po yan. Very useful when it comes to our community and our body. And then also coffee. Ayun, mga mahilig mag-coffee dyan. Magtanim na po tayo. And then rubber. Okay, what is fodder crops? Nandiyan berseem, elephant grass, ayun mga yan. And then next, agriculture. Ano yung agriculture class? Diniscuss natin the last meeting, right? It is a branch of science which deals with the raising of animals useful to man. And of course, it also involves when it comes to cultivations, breeding, and management of crops and livestock. So class, pag sinabing agriculture, hindi lang sa panananim, kundi also raising of animals. Example lang dyan yung mga fish ponds. Alright, now let's move on to the crops. Alright class, ano nga ba ang crops? What comes into your mind when you hear the word crops? Okay, crops is a plant or animal or animal product that can be grown and harvested extensively for profit or subsistence. Or it is also the product of something firm together. Okay, when plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scales, it is also called a crop. And then there are different types of crops require different climate and conditions. So class, pag sinabi pong may mga tinanim kayo sa backyard nyo na kahit anong crops yan, basta pare-pareho yung plant na yan, they are also called crop. Even though magkakaiba, it's also called crop. And then, sa pagpa-planting po, class, hindi lang yung basta-basta tayo magtatanim without the knowledge of climates. May mga time kasi na kailangan natin magtanim na itong buwan na to ay ganitong plants ang itatanim natin. Okay, there are types of crops. Okay, andyan po yung rainy seasons, and then what else? And then din po yung winter season crop, and then shade crop seasons. Okay. Ngayon, Yung under ng rainy season's crop, anyang grown during monsoon or rainy season. So, ito yung mga buwan ng July and then June, no, minsan na maabot pa ng August. Okay? So, yung harvested po dyan ay September or October. Example given po ng crops natin ay rice o yung palay, jowar, urad, bajra, yung mga sinabi ko yan kanina, and then cotton, peas, and then mung. And then pagdating naman po sa winter season's crops, we have sown in October, November. And then yung harvested time is on March or April, until April yan. Then, example given dyan, yung wet plants, barley, grams, mustard, and potato. Kaya kung pansin nyo, yung potato po class ay maano siya, parang dry. Am I right? And then, shade crops, yung sowing po natin dyan is on March, and then harvested is on July. It is also summer seasons growing. And then seasonal fruits po ang mga ma-harvest natin dyan. And then yung vegetables. Like for example, yung seasonal fruits, watermelon, right? And then yung vegetables like squash. Next, agricultural implements. So, nandyan yung mga name of implement and then the uses. Pag sinabing implements, ito yung mga tools and equipment that we are going to use when it comes to planting sa agriculture. So, kurpa, used for weeding. Pag sinabing weeding, ito po yung mga ginagamit sa pagtanggal ng damo. Spade for digging and bands formation. Then wooden plow, andyan for tilling. Then there soil plank, used for breaking crumbs. And then there's also seed drill, used for sowing. Harrow, used for weeding. And then same lang siya dun sa korpa. Then next, sikaw, used for harvesting. Ito yung ginagamit manually harvesting. And then sprayer, used for spraying insecticides. Combine, used for harvesting and threshing. And then ito po yung mga images ng implements na yun or ng tools and equipment. So, korpa, yan po yun siya. Saan nga ulit ginagamit ang korpa? It is used for weeding. And then next, spade. It is used for digging and bands formation. And then how about the soil plank? It is used for what? For breaking crumbs. And then we have also harrow. It is also used for weeding. It's the same for, katulad lang din siya ng kurpa. Ginagamit sa pag-weeding. And then, crops productions practices. Okay. Crops productions practices, there are preparing of soil, sowing, and then adding manure and fertilizers. And then of course we have also irrigation, and then protections from weeds and harvesting. And then the last one is the storage. So class, pag sinabi pong crop production practice, crop production, we have to practice all the following that I read. Okay. So class, ano po yung preparations of soil? So, there are leveling and ploughing or tilling. So, ano po yung leveling na yan? Ito po yun. Start from ploughing. It is a process of loosening and turning of soil. It is also done by using a plough, and ploughs are made of wood or iron. And then it is also allows the roots of penetrate deeper easily, and the soil is overturned and properly aerated by ploughing. So class, pag sinabi po natin pag gumamit po tayo ng ploughing or tilling machine, magiging maayos po yung pagtatanim natin ng crops kasi yung root niya ay magiging malalim, magiging tama at nasa control po yung pagtatanim ng mga seeds natin. And then magiging maayos ang conditions ng soil. And then, yan po yung plough. Meron po tayong wooden plough at meron po tayong iron plough. Kapag sinabi pong wooden plough, ito po yung manually na ginagamit ng farmers. At ang iron plough naman, ito naman po yung machine na ginagamit ng farmers. Now, let's proceed to the leveling. Kung meron na tayo kaninang, what do we call that? Ano yung una again? Very good. Meron tayong level, yung una, no? Ploughing or tilling. So, kapag sinabing namang leveling, it is the process to make soil surface level for sowing seeds. So, dito naman, level na level talaga. Magiging maayos yung surface ng soil. Magiging flat na flat. It is done by using leveler made of wood or iron. So, same lang din siya doon sa ploughing or tilling. Meron din siyang wood and iron. Ito po yung image ng iron leveling. Ayan po. Machine po siya. And then, wooden leveler. Ito po. Mayroon po siyang handle, which is yung po yung hinahawakan ng farmers kapag wala kang iron leveler. And then, let's proceed to the sowing. Kapag sinabing sowing, ito na po yung magsiseedlings na po tayo. It is done by broadcaster and seed drill. So, before sowing, you have to choose a good quality seeds are selected. So, kailangan natin, class, talagang mag-choose ng good quality seeds. Hindi yung basta-basta lang tayo kukuha or magtatanim ng seeds na without knowledge. Okay? And then, ano yung seed drill? Ang seed drill po, ito yon, gumagamit ng machine which is meron siyang mga pointed. Ayan. Yung broadcaster strategy, yung manually po yan, yung farmers po, yung tao po yung nag-seedlings po. O yan, pansin nyo naman po, yung seeds, parang tinatapon-tapon nyo lang para magkalat at tumubo yan. After naman yan, pag ganyan, magiging, ginagawa lang po yan sa class pagdating sa mga palayan, no? Yung tinatapon lang yung mga seeds. And then, we are going to the applying manure and fertilizers. So, ano yung differences ng manure and fertilizers? Ayun po sa screen. Yung manure po, organic or natural substances. Example po dito, yung mga tae ng kalabaw o tae ng kambing. Derived from decompositions of biological materials like what I said. And then when it comes to fertilizer, mga organic or inorganic substances po ito. Ito yung may mga cause na po ito. And then manure contain organic matter in large quantities. And then when it comes to fertilizer, organic matter not present. Okay? And then ang manure, it contains nutrients in small quantities and are needed in large quantities. And then, pagdating sa fertilizer, it is contain much higher amount of nutrients. So, kung sa manure, small quantities of large amount of nutrient, pagdating naman dito sa fertilizer, higher amount of nutrients. Kumbaga, pwersahan ito dito. And then, pagdating sa manure, they are not nutrient specific, pero pagdating sa fertilizer, they are nutrient specific. So, may pagkakaiba talaga. And then, manure, they are prepared in fields and villages. But in fertilizers, they are manufactured in factories. So, yun, minamanufactured po siya sa mga factory. Pero pagdating po sa manure, kahit saan lang po yan, sa mga villages. Manures are also bulky substances, so these are inconvenient to store, use, and transport, and do not cause pollution. Pero when it comes to the fertilizer, these are available in concentrated form. So these are easy to store, use, and also transport. But when it comes to cause, this is also a cause of water pollution. So, ito po yung manure and manure spreader. So, manure, napansin nyo, yun, no? Pwedeng tae ng kalabaw or kung ano-ano man. And then, manure spreader, yun, yung mga ano na po yan, gumagamit ng chemicals. And then, yun po yung fertilizers, kung napansin nyo. And then, yun, gumagamit ng sprayer din. Pero, class, pag gumamit po kayo ng fertilizer, you have to use face mask. And then, gloves. To prevent damages on our skin. Next, irrigation. Ano po yung irrigation? Kapag sinabing irrigation, it is the process of supplying water to crop plants. Growing in the fields by means of canal po yan, and then reservoir, wells, tube, wells, etc. Bakit kailangan ng water class ang irrigation? Because ang water, it is what? Very good, because it is water. The water is provide essential macronutrients to crop. Ano yung mga macronutrients yun? Yun yung hydrogen and oxygen. There are types of irrigation. The first one is soil-based irrigation and crop-based irrigation. What are these? Soil-based irrigation, example given po, is crop grown in sandy soil, require more frequent irrigations than crop grown in clay soil. So, pag sinabing soil-based irrigation po, medyo may pagka-sandy po yung kanyang soil. Ang mga sample pong tinatanim dito like what do we call that? Like okra, yun, mabubuhay po sa sandy soil. Crop-based irrigation naman po, it is a paddy crop transplanted in standing water, requires more water supply as compared to wheat, gram, and cotton. So, ito po yan. Matubig po yung crop-based irrigation. So, kailangan talaga dyan ng enough supply of water. Next, ito po yung moat system. Pag sinabi pong moat system, ito po yung napapalibutan po ito po yung trench, napapalibutan po ng tubig. And then, chain pump, gumagamit po ng pump para magkaroon ng water or enough water supply pagdating sa planting. And then next, rahat system, yun, may trench din po siya. Pag sinabing deckley system, ito po yung gumagamit ng balon. Ayan. Manually po siya. And then there are methods of irrigations. Nowadays po yan, yung po yung mga ginagamit sa panahon ngayon. Kasi nga, we are now on technology. Ayan, nandiyan yung drip irrigation method, sprinkler system, and then fertigation. So what are this class? Okay, drip irrigation, kung napapansin nyo, gumagamit ng hose at may mga butas-butas po para, very easy for them to watering the crops. And then sprinkler irrigation, ayan po, gumagamit din po ng parang machine na po yan dyan. Kahit po gaano kalawak yung natin crops, madali po siyang mawatering kasi malaki po yung mataas po or malakas po yung energy ng sprinkler. And then next, removal weeds. Ano po yung removal weeds? Very good. Ito po yung pagtatanggal ng mga damo. Weeds is undesirable plants with the main crop. Compete with the main crop for water, nutrients, space, and light. Of course, class, kung may mga weeds po tayo sa ating crops, na napapalibutan ng weeds, you have to take that off. Tanggalin po natin yan kasi sila lang naman po yung nangikipag-compete ng nutrients, ng tubig, or ng sunlights. So, kailangan natin tanggalin yon para maging healthy yung ating crops. O pag sinabing weeding, it is removal of weeds. Next, these are the weeding methods. So, yung methods, we have biological methods, chemical methods, cultural methods, and mechanical methods. Kapag sinabing may biological methods, nandiyan po yung examples niya, acacia plant against Parthenium weed, and then herbivorous fish in paddy fields. When it comes to chemical methods naman, nandiyan yung 2,4-D nitrofen atrazine. So, yung mga ginagamit. And then, cultural methods, crop rotation, ayan, mixed cropping, and intercropping. Kapag sinabing cultural methods, nagtatanim po tayo ng mixed cropping. And then, dyan po yung mechanical methods. May ploughing, which is kanina pinakita ko sa inyo. And then, may flooding. Anong flooding? Yung gagawa tayo ng mga irrigations. And then, burning. Ayan. Next, harvesting. Ano po yung harvesting, class? Kapag sinabing harvesting, ano po yan? Yung i-harvest po natin yung mga crops natin yung nasa tamang panahon na. Next, yan. It is cutting of crop after its maturations. Like what I said, pwede nating ma-harvest na yung crops natin na sa tamang panahon. And then, done by sickle or by a machine called harvester. So, yung pag sinabing sickle, ito po yung ginagamit manually ng farmers sa pag-harvest ng crops. We also use machine called harvester. Okay, grains are separated from chaff by a process called threshing. Ito po yung gumagamit ng machine para mahiwalay yung bunga at ang katawan ng tube ng crops. Ayan, threshing is carried out by combined harvester and thresher. Ito po yun. Yun yung sickle, ginagamit ng manual farmers, and then harvester, yun pag ginagamitan ng machine. Then, combine, ayan na po, machine. Itong dalawa na po ang gamit dyan, dalawang machine. Kung yung isa, itong napapansin mong itong malaki, dyan po pinapasok lahat ng crops mo na mayroon pang mga tubes or pagdating dito naman yung bunga na pupunta sa kabilang machine. Storage of grains, very important. So, after threshing naman, grains are dried in sand and then packed. Kung napapansin nyo, class, papuntang Tarlac or even though papuntang Ilocos, may makikita kayo yung mga palay, dinadried nila under the sun para maging totally dry siya, hindi siya masira kaagad. Kasi kung hindi mo siya dry, it is very easy to have na masira yung mga crops mo. And then, farmers store food grains in jute bags or metallic bins. Kung example, class, tapos ka na mag-harvest, even though na-dried mo na yung mga grains na na-harvest mo, you have to put it all on the bags or in the sacks. O sa mga sako. And then, large-scale storage is done in silos and granaries and stored in downs. Kapag sinabing silos, class, ito po yung area kung saan ilalagay lahat ng mga crops mo. So, katulad po nito. Yan po yung silos. Yung lagay ng mga stocks mong crops. And then, sabi dito, at domestic level, dried neem leaves are also used. Pero depende po yon sa crops na kinuha mo. Kasi may mga crops na talaga na gamit na siya. For example, yung life of tree. Ano nga ulit yung life of tree? Ay yung coconut tree. Kasi ang katulad niyan, yung roots niyan, gamit yan, ginagawang herbs, and then herbal. And then yung body, minsan ginagawa siyang wood. Yung mga ginagamit natin pa sa upuan. And then yung dahon ng coconut, ginagawang dingding. Am I right? At ang bunga niyan, minsan ginagawang oil. Kaya tinawag siyang life of tree kasi gamit na siya. Alright? There are factors responsible for grains loss during storage. The first one is the biotic living factors and then abiotic living factors. Ano ba yung biotic living factors? Bakit na sisira minsan ang ating mga crops? Dahil nandyan yung insects, rodents, birds, mites. And then, abiotic living factors, yung depende sa temperature ng panahon, moisture, humidity, material of container. How to measure to prevent grain loss? Okay. First one, we are going to drying before storage, like what I said a while ago. Then, maintenance of hygiene, very important yan, para avoid disease. And then, plant product treatment. So, kailangan natin lagi ng treatment kung yung product natin, which is gagamit tayo ng mga chemical dyan. And then, prophylactic treatment. So, ito yung mas mataas na treatment para maiwasan yung, ma-prevent yung ma-prevent yung grain loss. And then, the last one is you have to improve storage structures. So, kailangan yung area kung saan natin lalagay yung mga stocks ng crops natin ay malawak at malaki. And of course, dapat malinis siya para hindi siya pasukan ng mga insekto or kahit anong klaseng mga animals na pwedeng kainin ang mga crops mo. Alright, diseases of crops. Category, seed-borne diseases. Anong disease yun? Ergot o Bajra. Which is makikita natin mamaya yan sa next slide. Causative agent, and yung Claviceps purpurea. Ang symptoms niya ay fungus infect florets and develops in ovaries, producing sticky liquid called honeydew. And then leaf spot of rice sa disease, and then bipolaris oryzae sa causative agent, and then the symptom is brown leaf. Spots occur which are small and circular. Ito po yun. Ayan. Yung ergot o Bajra, kumbaga, inaanuhan siya ng mga para makagawa ng what do we call that? Yung honeydew. Ang leaf spot of rice naman po yan siya. Mga brown na yan. Okay, category. Soil-borne diseases, meron din tayo. Tika disease of groundnut. Ito yung sa disease ng groundnut. Din causative agent, Cercosporidium personatum. And then, symptoms, spots are reddish brown to black on upper surface and light brown on the lower surface of the lip. And then, spot of Bajra. Yung causative agent niya is Toliposporium. And then, symptoms, in affected earth, some of grain become deep green, which becomes black. Ito po yan. Ayan. So, yung tika disease of groundnut. Ayan, no? Yung dahon, nagkaroon ng mga dot ng black. So, dyan nagsisimulang masira yung crops mo. And then, spot of Bajra, ayan, no? Ang daming dikit-dikit sa, naging black na yung ibang, yung white nagiging black, yun ang sisimula para masira yung crops mo. Okay, meron din tayong waterborne disease. Bacterial blight of rice. And then, Santomanos oryzae, causative agent tawag doon. Symptoms po ng waterborne disease ay leaves of young plant become pale green. Okay. Whole leaf become whitish, grayish, and then die. Ito po yun siya, yung sa palay. Ayan o. Yung green, nagiging, ang kulay niya na iiba hanggat magiging white. So, bacterial blight of rice. Blight of rice po yan, di blast. And then, meron din tayong airborne disease, which is airborne disease. Ito po yung symptoms is brown pustules on the stalk and leaves. And then these pustules burst and release brown powder which consists of spores. And then blast of rice, and then magnapore greasy, and then white to green lesions with dark border appear on all parts of shoot. And then of course internodal infections also occur when which results in the breakdown of system. Yun po yung symptoms ng airborne disease when it comes to our crops. Okay. Ano nga ulit yung mga disease na yun? Yung una, seed-borne diseases. Ano yung symptoms ng seed-borne diseases? Ito yung fungus infect florets and develops in ovaries, producing sticky liquid called honeydew, di ba? And then brown leaf, pagdating sa rice, leaf spot of rice, ang causative agent niya ay bipolaris oryzae. And then brown leaf spots occur which are small and circular. Ano nga ulit ang pangalawang disease? Soil-borne disease, okay? Yung may mga spot yung leaf. And then next disease, ano nga yun? Waterborne disease, okay? Nandun yung leaves of young plant become pale. Okay. Next. Okay. Next natin ay sustainable agricultural. Okay, gaano ka-importante yung agricultural? Pagdating nga. Okay, agriculture practices that can continue for a very long time without damaging the natural resources. It can be done by mixed farming, crop rotation, crop
mixed cropping and intercropping. So yan ang sustainable agriculture, which is kanina yung mga diniscuss ko yan a while ago. Intercropping, ito po yung pwede mong sa for example, sa isang farm, meron kang tanim lahat maize is maize lang dito. Yung part na to dito, okay, dito lahat maize lang. Then pagdating naman dito, soybean lahat, pero may mga spaces siya, yung tawag na intercropping. And then dito lahat ay oat. And then dito naman, ibang crops naman. So dapat may mga spaces siya para hindi nag-aagawan ng what do we call that? Nutrients. Alright, next is three sisters. So, ano yung mga three sisters na yon? Yung mga magkakapatid kung tawagin, no? Ng mga crops. So, nandyan yung maize. Pwede siyang i-combine o ihalo sa ibang crops na kapatid. Okra, yon. Yung babagay sa isang soil. So, pag yung what do we call this? Maize, pwede siyang maitanim sa mga sandy or clayey soil. Okay, green revolutions started in 1960 by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, the father of green revolutions, and then the main aim was to increase productions of wheat by modern agricultural practices. High-yield dwarf variety of wheat, Sarbati Sonara, was developed in 1967. Take note nyo yan. So, according to him, if agriculture fails, everything else will fail, di ba? Kasi kung wala naman talagang agriculture, walang kakainin ang buong tao. So, lahat ng all the communities will fail. Siya po si Dr. M.A. Swaminathan. Thank you po and God bless. See you next time.